What a shot. That's the cop here at Tranmere Rovers. They're desperate to get back to the promised land of the Football League. This is a big day for them, as it of course is for Ebbsfleet. Sutton and Borehamwood tomorrow, but it's all about Rovers and Ebbsfleet right now. The Super White Army in full cry. Chris Hargreaves and Grant Holt, what's your hunch?
But they're playing against a really tough side today, a really tough side, a side that have got spirit and endeavour, and it's going to be a really difficult day. For me, they've just got to start on a positive, start on the front foot, try and get an early goal and just lift the expectation of the fans. The last thing they want is a goal against or an iffy performance in that first 15-20 minutes.
Right, Chris is on the fence as usual. Grant, are you going to call it?
No, I said before, I think I've just got a sneaky feeling for Ebbsfleet. I just think the other night, if they can get to 15-20 minutes, quiet the crowd down, get the momentum again, get the legs back from the other night. I've just got a funny feeling they have got players. If Whiteley's on it, he will hurt them. And I said it. And the other night, I thought Ebbsfleet were fantastic. The back two.
The Barmy Army or the Super White Army. One of them's going to Wembley. One of them is going to Wembley. Remember, as always, the game is available in ultra high definition BT Sport 4K for BT TV viewers. That option is available for you via channel 433. Doesn't get better in terms of the stage and the weather, and the teams, I gather, are on their way. So high time we joined Adam Burgo and Adam Somerton.
The playoff semi-finals upon us. What a week it's already been. The pressure, pain and pleasure of the playoffs very evident, but the stakes even higher now. Tranmere and Ebbsfleet one step from Wembley. A season's work and futures on the line. The stakes incredibly high for these two clubs. The fear of failure, the relief of victory. Playoff football is as brutal as it can be rewarding. Tranmere seeking to end a three-season Football League exile. Back-to-back promotions still possible for Ebbsfleet. An achievement that would rival anything we've seen at this level of football. A big pre-match boost for Tranmere. The return to fitness of Supporters Player of the Year Adam Buxton, who's missed 2 games with a stomach muscle injury. Captain Steve McNulty is aiming for his 5th promotion with a 4th different club. The front two of Norwood and Cook have 46 goals and 20 assists between them this season. Adam Burgo's been casting his eye over the Tranmere squad. Who's your player to watch, Adam?
I've just given him the trophy for the top scorer in the National League, and he's been again absolutely outstanding for Mickey Mellon's side. Him and Norwood have created a brilliant partnership. Get the ball out wide today for him. He's always looking in the 18-yard box to try and turn on his feet. Very, very good in the air. The service into him up against Clark and Winfield today has to be excellent. But you can certainly say he has been sensational for Tranmere this season.
Who better than you, good self, to give him that top scorer award?
Yeah, he's done brilliantly well. The pressure of playing for Tranmere is one thing. Another 20 goals in a season for him has been outstanding.
Ebbsfleet's players had 120 minutes and penalties to contend with on Wednesday. They've re-energised at a cryotherapy chamber since, and the side is unchanged from the 11 that started against Aldershot. Dean Rance, the club's longest-serving current player, scored the winning penalty in that shootout win. Goalkeeper Nathan Ashmore was recently named Ebbsfleet's Player of the Year. Who do you think could be key for the Fleet today, Adam?
Well, I think when you play against Tranmere, you look at the back two in particular, in Sutton and McNulty. I think Kedwell certainly stretches play really, really well. And in that number 10 role, I think Powell can certainly create something which can really, really hurt Tranmere. To take that penalty after missing one in 90 minutes shows great character. Again, he's been the talisman for Vanarama's side, and again, experience in that final third will be vital.
So many potential match winners out there, but formation-wise, Adam, they're going to match up.
I think it's a massive, massive boost for Tranmere to have Buxton in. Whether or not how fit he is, we'll certainly see. And I think the front two are going to try and cause carnage in the early 15-20 minutes to get that early goal. You look at Ebbsfleet, Kedwell will be leaning in the line. We need to see a little bit more from Corey Whiteley and Coulson than what we did against Aldershot. They need to try and create things in that final third. They certainly have the X factor. If they have a good afternoon, then it could be a good day for Ebbsfleet.
A referee today indicating a change of ends is Peter Wright. He's taken charge of 24 National League matches this season. He's shown 60 yellow cards and 3 reds. Mickey Mellon, the man in charge of Tranmere, of course, a promotion winner with Fleetwood and Shrewsbury in the past, says he enjoys the pressure that comes with these games. Big turnout from the Tranmere supporters. This Darren McMahon's third full season with Ebbsfleet, and all of them have involved a playoff campaign. He's reached the final on the 2 previous occasions. Such a stark contrast between these 2 football clubs. Tranmere, arguably the biggest in the National League, and had spent 94 years in the Football League before their 2015 relegation. A 6th tier side this time last year. Ebbsfleet are aiming to reach the Football League for the first time in their history. 1 game from Wembley, it's all or nothing for Tranmere and Ebbsfleet. No second leg, no second chances. It is winner takes all, Adam.
Great occasion. Fans have certainly come in their numbers for Tranmere, and certainly for Ebbsfleet as well. Speaking to both managers before, they seemed pretty relaxed about the occasion. But now we're looking at this new playoff system. Will it now suit Suttons and Tranmere's, with Ebbsfleet's and Borehamwood playing midweek? So it's been a long week for Darren McMahon's side. Haven't trained since Tuesday. So it'll be interesting to see first 20 minutes how they settle into the game.
Here's Corey Whiteley. He was only really on the fringes of the game against Aldershot during the week, but we all know the quality that he has when he's on his game. As for Coulson, that's an early effort, and a little bit like Whiteley. Same sort of story really, Adam, on the fringes of the game on Wednesday, but can be explosive.
Well, they can be against. Really interesting to see Whiteley up against Liam Ridehouse, and then say Buxton not quite fit. So Coulson certainly fancied himself early on. They've got to get them in the game early, get the ball out wide, give them a little bit of time to run at the 2 fullbacks. You're right, they didn't have enough control in the game to really get them into good areas against Aldershot. And you're looking for a bit of X factor today, a bit of quality in the final third. Those 2 certainly need to be on it.
Lovely turn by Carl. They couldn't stop him, could they? Early ball in from Norwood. That's a fantastic piece of skill by Cole.
Without Tollett in the side, you need someone like Cole today to really drive Tranmere forward. That place on the left-hand side. Drew couldn't quite get the challenge there. See Norwood just trying to bend that ball in for Andy Cook.
Spent 5 years with Manchester United, Larnell Cole. Up until 2014. Here's Ginelli. Tranmere, as you'd expect, looking to set a high early tempo here. This is Coulson. Nicely worked by Ebbsfleet. Kedwell, who missed a penalty during the game against Aldershot on Wednesday, but scored in the shootout. Years with Manchester City as a youngster, Luke Coulson. Great sense of occasion though at Prenton Park. They've turned out in their droves.
Well, they certainly have. Shows the stature of this football club, but interestingly enough, when I arrived at the ground early, just speaking to 1 or 2 fans, I certainly felt the nerves speaking to them. They feel this is a really must-win game for them. This is a massive opportunity for them to get back in the Football League. So it's really interesting. If they can keep them quiet for 20-25 minutes, so working to the favour of the away side.
It's Clark's header. Forward by Hughes, and Ginelli's got him behind here. Just wouldn't come down quickly enough for him, would it? Great vision though by Hughes in the first instance.
He just got his foot moving wrong, Jack Connors. The ball was played on the top of him. Good to see early on for Tranmere, 2 wide men looking to try and run him behind. Just it wouldn't bounce for him nicely. So then a very difficult skill then to chip it over Connors' head.
He's racing to try and keep this in. Put behind by Clark, he wasn't taking any chances. First corner kick of the game for Tranmere.
Yeah, good start from Tranmere. That's Hartlepool last week. Probably felt they were a little bit nervous, didn't want to get injured before the game, weren't really at it, but certainly a different side so far.
Richie Sutton, who's had more minutes on the pitch for Tranmere than anybody else, is forward here. 20 goals this season for Norwood. 26 for him. In goes the corner. Didn't quite drop kindly for Cook. Gives chase here. He's beaten to it though by Kedwell. Whiteley gives chase. Davis was decisive. There's a push there on Andy Cook, and it's a free kick to Tranmere.
Which is a long hope of ball forward. Wilson again just getting offside. Certainly clips Andy Cook's heels to go down. Just interesting from Ebbsfleet point of view, just from that corner, they've kept two up, Coulson and Whiteley. I think with the kicking of Ashmore, if he can come and claim it, they'll be looking to try and break quickly.
5 gone at Prenton Park as Rydalsh prepares to take the free kick here. Norwood's pointing where he wants it. Doesn't go to him, it's to the back post, and Cook instead. Just turned round the post, was it, by Ashmore?
You need periods of the game now where you need your goalkeeper to be on form. Maybe it was going wide at that post, but really good connection there from Andy Cook. Ashmore couldn't really afford to take a chance there.
The heroes of the shootout for Ebbsfleet on Wednesday night at the recreation ground. Nathan Ashmore. Tranmere on top at the moment. And he kept 2 back here as well, the home side. Cook the target. Rydalsh in a race with Coulson to get to it. And it goes here for Ginelli. Ball back to him, wasn't it, from Buxton? What was England made of the way his side have started?
Really pleased. Really pleased from his side. It's not easy coming into a game of this magnitude with the pressure that he'd have certainly felt this week. Wondering who would be playing all the shot of Ebbsfleet. But the players have started well, and you can clearly see now the fans are feeding off that.
How hard a job, though, Adam, for a manager in Mickey Mellon's position, in charge of a club the size of Tranmere, to try and take the pressure off his players.
It's very, very hard. I said it earlier, they are the biggest club in this league, in my opinion. Fan base that they certainly have. And you want to try, and the managers do that. Good managers try and take the pressure off the players as much as possible. Sometimes they do it at the wrong time, where I feel players needed to be told that they need to be blamed. But a game of this magnitude coming in, got to try and let the players relax. And so the way he's been speaking like that this week is trying to take a lot more on himself.
Clark and above Cook, who's looking to keep it going for Tranmere. Cole has Rydalsh in support. Some lovely back heel. Playing some nice stuff here, Tranmere, in the early stages.
Yeah, good, especially down the flanks. Cole in the game early, Ginelli as well. Really big. So you've got Norwood that can create space, and you've got Cook as an out ball in the middle.
Started very well. He started out at Manchester United, also has had time with Fulham as well. It's the second time actually that Mickey Mellon has signed Larnell Cole. He also brought him in on loan at Shrewsbury back in 2015. Connors for Ebbsfleet. Was recalled to the side during the week, Jack Connors, with Bush dropping out. Vanarama side really yet to get going. A 500-mile round trip, of course, to Prenton Park. We'll have this cryotherapy chamber that they were in. Some opinion a little bit split as to the benefits of it, but if it gives them a mental edge today, if anything, the amount of games they've played.
You've got to try and do what you can. I mean, training was really out of the question for Darren after a hard-called victory against Aldershot.
Chip forward by Sutton. It's Drury's header. He'll be absolutely key in that midfield. Drury, Connors, Coulson. Just kept in here by Powell. Got 3 in the box here, Ebbsfleet. Just volley clear by Hughes. At the expense of a throw-in.
Just needed a little bit more quality. He just dropped back a little bit too deep, and Buxton was as well. They're really marking the same players. When the ball got played back to Jack Connors, just maybe could have even taken a touch to get that delivery in.
Winfield, who got that late equaliser against his former club, Aldershot, up from the back here. Had almost 10 minutes at Prenton Park. Didn't quite drop for Drury. Flick on was by Norwood to Cook. Great understanding between those two. And he's got the pace to get there, Norwood. He might go alone. The pullback's perhaps on. Decided to take on the shot. Well, it was Norburn who'd made a run into the area. Maybe that pass was on.
It was a great counter-attacking play there from Tranmere. Just that delicate touch from Andy Cook. But Oliver Norburn with a precise pass out wide. I think he's done the right option there. James Norwood didn't really have too many other choices to make the save out of Ashmore.
Buxton. Back it goes here for the captain, McNulty. Winfield's header forward for Ebbsfleet. And he's reached double figures in the National League for the 6th season in a row. James Norwood, 20 goals this season, his highest ever league tally. Twice a National League playoff loser with Forest Green in 2015, of course Tranmere last year as well.
And again, he's been absolutely vital in the quality season. People may say he has a lot of chances to get a goal. I think him and Cook have led the line brilliantly this season for Tranmere. It's so vital to take those two out the side then. And he's certainly lost a lot of goals.
Run through to Wilson. Anticipated by Whiteley. It's Cadwell chasing for Ebbsfleet.
I think it's important, Danny Cadwell. You've just seen early on, he's looking to close down, being the lone striker. He's trying to say there to Coulson, when I close down, you've got to start squeezing up with me. There's no point in me wasting my energy to go and close down 2 or 3 players if you're not going to come with me.
Infield under pressure from Ginelli. First time by Ashmore. The keeper is decent with his feet, needed to be. There we go, he sliced it out of play. 14 clean sheets this season. There was interest in him from Football League clubs back in January. Nathan Ashmore. But they're bracing themselves for more interest in the summer at Ebbsfleet. Space for Sutton to bring it forward. Norwood with the flick to Cook. Cook immediately getting on the turn. He's got Cole in support. Wilson with the block. He feeds Drury. A sense of anticipation every time Norwood or Cook get anywhere near the goal.
They just maybe could have just used a reverse ball to Cole.
Wilson to Whiteley here. And now Cadwell. Hitting the byline, and he's well to inside the throw in there. That'll be a corner actually.
Sorry, well, the one thing the FC must really improve on from Wednesday is that bit of quality in the final third.
They've sent a few coach loads to take the Ebbsfleet supporters on that long 250-mile journey to Prenton Park. What a season they've had there, whatever happens today. Remarkable, really. Drops nicely to be struck, and only just wide from Whiteley. How close was that?
Very, very close. Best chance of the game so far for the away side. Just switch off on the edge of the box. There's Ginelli. You're on there, you need to do a job. Stop those shots from the edge of the box. That was agonisingly close.
Signed mid-season from Dagenham and Redbridge, Corey Whiteley. Said he was promised a lot of freedom on the pitch by Daryl McMahon before joining the club. Says he's the sort of player who likes to roam around the pitch and can be so effective in doing that. Here's Ginelli, and Norwood's there. Quite going for Tranmere yet in the final third.
Well, they started positively, pulled out a couple of saves from Nathan Ashmore early on, settled into the game very, very well. Wondering how these players would handle the pressure. It's only mind games now, isn't it? Take your time.
Goalkeeper unhappy that something has been thrown at him from behind that goal. Big attendance in the Kop today. Almost a quarter of an hour gone as the referee here. Peter Wright has just gone across to have a word with the fourth official. McNulty's header. Back heel by Norwood. Wilson got in front of Cole. Wins the header. Now Rats. It goes to Whiteley. Nice first time ball here to Powell. Starting to settle into the game a bit more here, Ebbsfleet. In towards Coulson! What a header! Tremendous from Coulson. And Ebbsfleet have the lead at Prenton Park. First blood to Darren McMahon's side. He took that brilliantly.
Well, when this cross came in, I just thought, goal. Look how deep Tranmere are dropping when the ball was played forward. There's too much time for that cross to come in. What a header that was from Luke Coulson. Not really renowned for doing that. Scott Davis, absolutely no chance, but there's so much time for that cross to come in. If you get that ball right and you attack it well like this, you're going to get yourself a goal.
Takes him into double figures in terms of the league this season. You might argue it's come a little against the run of play. But what a big moment for Luke Coulson. Davis hasn't made a save yet.
Tranmere started really, really well. Your one fear is that when the ball goes long, you worry that their back four just drop a tiny bit deep. And that was prevalent then.
It's Coulson's best ever season for goals. And we talked about how he was one of the players that Darren McMahon would look to turn to for inspiration. But if he wasn't nervous before, Mickey Mellon certainly will be now.
Oh, he will be. Massive 10 minutes for Tranmere now. Do they just carry on with their normal game plan like they did in the first 15 minutes? Passing the ball well, getting in that final third. I still feel down this left-hand side they can certainly have a lot of joy, because Whiteley previously was going goal side of Liam Ridehouse and not really tracking back, so the fullback can get forward and get a 2-on-1 against Wilson.
Davis with the slice clearance. Moment to remember for Luke Coulson, but can they build on it? Ebbsfleet, can Tranmere hit back? The home side certainly came into it as the favourites, the team with home advantage, the team that had been rested as well during the week. There's always the question about Tranmere, could they handle the pressure that goes with being the favourites, being the big ex-Football League club? Darren McMahon going with the theory in terms of trying to take the pressure off his players that it's almost a free hit this for Ebbsfleet. They didn't expect to be here in the first place. Norwood's ball in there. Diving header clear was by Kenny Clark. With the long ball forward up towards Cook. Might drop for Cole. It was cleared by Wilson. Given away by Norburn. I have to say, they look pretty fresh at the moment, Ebbsfleet.
I've been in situations myself, like the goal will do them wonders. Just gives you an extra bit, a few extra percentage of energy mentally and physically as well. just getting that goal, and it was the quality of the goal as well. Brilliant ball in, but you just see how deep Tranmere are when the cross comes in. Ball was played forward long, you need to start getting tight up. I wondered about Buxton, how fit he was. You need to see that run earlier from Coulson, but take nothing away from that goal, and that is a real quality. Brilliant goal, brilliant cross.
He admitted he considered quitting football a few years ago, Luke Coulson, when he was without a club. He's glad he didn't now. He's put his side in a great position in this playoff semi-final. Just worth reminding you, in terms of those who aren't familiar with the new format in the National League playoffs, no second leg in the semi-finals now. It's all on this. You have to have an outcome today, and that's why it just puts that added pressure on things today. Up towards Kedwell. Just before Norwood, it's pushed by Lionel Cole.
So the game management now coming for Darryl Maman's side. Things like this, Adam, just taking your time. Free kicks, throw-ins, mind games. Speaking to Duncan Jumpert right at the start of the season, they felt the reason they were drawing a lot of games earlier on was because their game management throughout the game was not good enough at certain periods. But now they've sort of learnt the league very, very well.
It goes from Ashmore. Good playing by Davis. Ebbsfleet want to reach Wembley. All this a bonus for them, a club that's already exceeded expectations this year. Pre-season title favourites Tranmere have perhaps already fallen short of their pre-season objective. This playoff campaign, their second chance. Whiteley alive to it. Coulson makes a run down the left-hand side. Kedwell's waiting in the middle. Drury arriving on the edge of the area. Whiteley, seeing that run into the box from Powell. That's a brilliant turn by Norwood, and Cook just had to hold his run to stay onside. Norwood's got Ginelli on the right. Looks for Cook, he's been forced wide here. Norburn's in support. It's Ridehalgh with the cross. Over it comes here for Buxton. Can Tranmere hit back here? McNulty's header. This time passed by Hughes, who's already said he'll be leaving Tranmere at the end of this season, going back to Larne in Northern Ireland, where he started his career. Hughes. So now Ebbsfleet, more importantly, have something to protect. Ginelli with the ball over. Comfortable really for Winfield. Winfield and Clark were outstanding at Aldershot during the week. Kedwell closing down Davis, and he only just got away with that, goodness me. Clark's header. Over it comes here to Ridehalgh, quickly played into Cook, who looks to go on the turn. Wilson's clearance finds touch.
I think Tranmere, when they're starting now get into that final third, they have to certainly be patient. Ebbsfleet are just very happy now just to drop back in. Now that they've got that goal lead, only 2 banks of 4.
Ridehalgh with the first time ball in, and Cook was waiting for it, but Winfield got in front of it. Ginelli challenged by Coulson. Very happy for it to go on. Coulson's chasing this, and he's got there. And Powell's making his way into the area. Tranmere got numbers back, though. Throw-in taken quickly. Slice clearance by Buxton, and Whiteley will hit it first time. Well, he's capable of scoring in that sort of situation. He can be that good, Whiteley.
Well, the one before I felt that was an easier technique than that one. That was a very, very hard one there for Corey Whiteley, but certainly encouraging signs for the away side on the counter-attack.
Mark Pugac is joined by Chris Sutton, Jermaine Genus, John Hartson, Owen Hargreaves and Robbie Savage to bring you all the latest scores today from 2:30. Southampton fighting for survival in the Premier League and head for Goodison Park later. The Saints looking for back-to-back wins for the first time this season. And Jake Humphrey is joined by Francis Benali, Glenn Hoddle and Owen Hargreaves to round up today's matches. And at 8 o'clock this evening in Premier League tonight. Whereas Tranmere are getting ready to make an early enforced change here. Adam Buxton, who had been a pre-match doubt with a stomach muscle injury, has been struggling a little bit in the early stages of the game. The referee again is forced to clear objects off the pitch. The referee again here. Peter Wright thought he was going to come over, well, he is going to come over and have a word with the fourth official, and I'm sure in turn will speak to the head steward. It's the second time now that the fourth official has spoken to the head steward. It's not really helping Tranmere this though, is it? Because every time there's a long stoppage, it stops them getting any sort of rhythm going.
It's a little momentum out, isn't it?
Momentum is exactly what Tranmere need, really. Certainly started the game well enough. How they've been stunned by that goal.
Really reacted as well as I thought they would have done to go in a goal behind.
Wilson. Drury. Powell put in that lovely cross for the opening goal. And Powell's on it again here. And Kedwell's in the middle. And Kedwell! They do play some nice stuff at times, Ebbsfleet.
It was great there from Corey Whiteley. Just look at his awareness to know the little run from Powell. Coming in off the line there. Comes in. That creates a space for Powell to run into. I think he does the right thing there. Going across the goalkeeper, but Danny Kedwell, that's a really difficult technique to try and get that towards goal. Creating good gaps between Tranmere and Ebbsfleet.
Well, tomorrow, our coverage of the National League playoffs heads for Gander Green Lane, the second semi-final. Sutton United host Boreham Wood, who of course saw off Files on Thursday night. That's also in 4K. Under a bit of pressure from Ginelli. Nice touch by Powell to Rance. Couldn't say the same about the second pass though. Hughes. Can he drive Tranmere forward here? Wide it goes for Ginelli. Cole and Cook and Norwood are all waiting in the middle. Needs to be a good ball. He's fisted in. And Cook at a tight angle. And they've just kept it out. Cole blocked. Cook again. Off target.
You're going to get to a playoff final, Adam. You need to defend like this. You have to start defending for your lives. First time really that Ginelli's got one-on-one with Connors. Fizzes that ball in. Ashmore can really just carry it on, really. Just that touch in front of Norwood was brilliant from him. Now you're looking at the challenges coming in from the away side. Certainly have looked dangerous, Tranmere. They have. Just look at this defending for your lives, throwing your bodies in the way. You're certainly now feeling the frustration from the away side, Adam. Home fans are certainly on the players' backs at the minute.
Any more stuff on the pitch
Now an announcement over the PA system about the objects being thrown onto the pitch. But that was always the danger, wasn't it, Adam? With all the pressure that's on this game, you mentioned it yourself, I was with you as we walked into the ground, and some of the Tranmere supporters were saying, we are a bit nervous, we can't afford this not to go our way today. That was always the danger. And Darren McMahon said to us before the game, the first 20 minutes is massive for my team.
It's been absolutely crucial. I think it is certainly set up to play on the counter-attack. You left Corey Whiteley up there as a wide option to give a little bit of support to Kedwell. But the goal has really helped the game plan really kick into gear. I think the hard-earned victory against Aldershot. I've been in these dressings where you need to quieten the home crowd down to get them on the home sides back a little bit. It's working perfectly for you at the moment.
Whilst Tranmere beat Ebbsfleet 3-0 in the league at Prenton Park this season, the reverse fixture at Stonebridge Road produced a goalless draw, but we must have a winner today. Extra time and penalties, both possibilities. Tranmere have got to find a route back into the game first, though. Just over half an hour gone in the sun at Prenton Park. Coulson's goal, the difference. Winfield got his head to it, taken down by Drury. Quickly up it went to Kedwell, but the offside flag is up. A full week, remember, without a game for Tranmere's players since that final day loss to Hartlepool here. Ebbsfleet without that luxury. Wednesday's eliminator at Aldershot, their 9th game since the beginning of April. Tranmere have played 2 games less in that time. Norwood couldn't get it through to Cole. I mentioned a little earlier that Buxton did seem to be struggling, but looks okay now as it's played through to Whiteley. But Ebbsfleet are going to be making a change, that's imminent. Powell with the touch. Coulson just kept it in, but only gave possession to Hughes. Cole wants it. Cole gets it. First time ball back to Hughes. Good run down the wing here by Ridehouse. Inside he goes. And now Norwood. And he scored! Perfectly placed by James Norwood. And Tranmere are on terms at Prenton Park. Needed one of his big guns to step forward there, Mickey Mellon, and James Norwood has obliged.
Well, he's been excellent so far, James Norwood. And it's Wilson that comes in to Cole, that creates the space in for Ridehouse to come back. You've got Kedwell trying to track back. I was mentioning earlier about Corey Whiteley. Needs to do some defending on that left-hand side. But in fairness to Norwood, goes for goal, goes through the legs of Kenny Clark. Nathan Ashmore can't stand any chance of keeping that out. He certainly raised the roof in the stadium. Fires it across.
That'll settle the nerves a bit. Tangible tension almost at Prenton Park. Change made in the mayhem by Ebbsfleet. It's Weston who's on for the scorer of the opening goal. Coulson, who's been forced off with an injury here. He did have a bit of swelling, we were told, after taking a knock in the previous game, the eliminator against Aldershot. But how, Adam, the atmosphere changes with one kick of a football.
It will do. A couple of minutes ago, you certainly felt the home crowd was on their players back with misplaced passes, not really connecting in that final third. But it was an area I felt that Tranmere could really capitalise on. Just down that left-hand side with Corey Whiteley not tracking back with Liam Ridehouse, and with Wilson going in tight on Cole, just creates the space.
Well, you can only imagine how he's feeling right now, from the joy of that opening goal to the devastation of being forced off injured in such a big game for both him personally and his football club. Now the emotions to and fro for the managers down on that touchline as well.
Steve Grip beside him, good experience now. real key stage of the game for the away side, not to concede a quick one again.
Just over 10 minutes till half-time. Nolte playing it against Weston. 41 league games this season. Steve McNulty played 55 of 57 matches for the club last season. Such a steady presence. His leadership will be so important in this playoff campaign as well for Tranmere.
Certainly another fine season, isn't it? Leads by example every single game.
Twice a playoff winner as well in National League North with Barrow and Fleetwood. Connor's got his head to it. It goes to Kedwell. Straight away had McNulty at his back. There are a few better in the National League than Kedwell in that position with back to goal. Loses possession now though, dispossessed by Hughes. Played against Connors by Ginella. Buxton over to take this throw-in. Collision off the ball there, involving Norwood, the goal scorer for Tranmere. Buxton's cross, too close to Ashmore. He's noted for his distribution, the Ebbsfleet goalkeeper, as he looks to seek out Whiteley. Now by the Ebbsfleet man on set.
We're talking about Grant Smith at Boreham Woods. It's a great outlet to have in the modern-day game now, a goalkeeper managing to kick off the floor and out his hands with real quality to start counter-attacks, especially away from home.
Tranmere had the best home record in the National League this season, as their fans will tell you. Took 47 points from a possible 69. At Brenton Park, one more point than the champions Macclesfield managed at Moss Rose. Ebbsfleet are tough to beat away from home though. They've only lost one of their last 11 on the road. Winfield with another defensive header. It's Weston who will bring it forward now. Tiga and Barbuda international over the top for Kedwell to chase. He works so hard, doesn't he, Kedwell? His manager, Darryl McMahon, says he defies sports science. Never seems to be injured. Ginelli sends one in. Well saved by the goalkeeper, Ashmore. He might have had trouble seeing that.
Yeah, you're right there, Adam. Make a save like that from that distance. He must have seen it late. Again, Connors just doesn't quite get tight enough.
Now then, maybe there's a counter-attack on here for Ebbsfleet, led by Weston. Whiteley's the furthest forward. Weston going down, perhaps rather looking for the free kick. Another incident off the ball here. This time the referee, Peter Wright, stops it. It's Powell with the foul, and the referee, Peter Wright, wants a word with here.
Gets a little touch of the ball there, doesn't he? Miles Weston.
Beyond Lord. Goal that he's just scored, equaling his best tally for a season in all competitions. And Cook's so important, 46 goals between them in the regular season. But not just that, Adam. If you look at their assist record, they both got 10 assists each as well.
They do, and it's just the work rate and the connection they have in that final third. Cook can stay slightly central. And he makes all those little flick-ons and ones round the corner where Norwood, the amount of running that he does in those channels and in that final third to still score 20+ goals is a real compliment to him.
Chip forward by Wilson. McNulty got a head on it, but it will fall for Miles Weston, who's got Powell in support. Here's Weston again. Connors has gone on the overlap. McNulty's clearance wasn't convincing, and Powell is there for Ebbsfleet. Tried to play it into the feet of Kedwell. He wasn't quite alive to that. Headed forward by Winfield.
That's a free kick all day long.
That was Powell who went down.
There. Nice blatant foul, you'll see. Just gets a little touch on the follow through. Short down Lamar would certainly prefer a free kick there from where Nathan Ashmore's now taking his.
Kept busy in this first 40 minutes, the referee, Peter Wright. Referee telling Ashmore to get on with this. And now the crowd are also telling him to. Up to Winfield it goes. Was there a handball there?
That's a close one. That's a really close one.
Now it's 3 against 3 here. Norburn and Hughes is getting forward, and Norwood's there as well, and so is Cook. Important head there by Wilson, but Cook keeping it going. Ridehouse arrives in support. Busy penalty area. Well, there was potentially what looked like a big decision for the referee to make there. Seemed to strike a hand in the box.
It was Winfield on Sutton. Maybe one across the face first. He certainly strikes his arm. Possibly a foul on Sutton first. Just there with the arm. It's a close one, really close.
Norburn. Hughes gets the pass away to Ridehouse. And chat back by Whiteley. Then finds Wilson. Powell. Dwelt on the ball, could be made to pay for that. Cook for Tranmere, and still on he goes. Spotted Norwood up in the box, but couldn't quite find it.
They're looking to try and keep the ball on the halfway line, Ebbsfleet. More often than not, you have Kedwell centrally. It wasn't really an out ball for them, so they tried to keep it, dwelled on it a little bit too much.
Just 2.5 minutes to go until half-time. Having been behind, could Tranmere take the lead here? Into the box it goes. That's a very good claim by Ashmore. Straight away launches it forward, but way too much on that.
You do like the one on the counter-attack, but just every now and then he's just come and taken a great catch. Just fall to the ground and just give your side a little bit of breathing space, because just at the moment Tranmere are finishing the half really strong.
Ginelli trying to keep it in. Appealed for a corner and will get one. The man on loan from Burnley. Won the National League title on loan at Lincoln last season, Josh Ginelli. The season before he was relegated with Altrincham. Going for promotion again. Concentration so important just before half-time here for Ebbsfleet. Goalkeeper decided to go back onto his line. Awkward ball to deal with.
Oh, decent header there from Kedwell. Does that defensive duty brilliantly for Ebbsfleet.
Cook can do a similar job, can't he, for Tranmere when required. Buxton with the chip cross in. Brought down nicely by Hughes. Kept in by Ridehouse. Another good take by Ashmore.
But again, they're getting loads of space. Just worried for Corey Whiteley. I don't think his awareness of defensive duties, whether to stay with Liam Ridehouse, but took on my advice there, fall to the ground, take your time.
Whiteley. And back to Ginnelly from Ridehouse going out. No rush to get going again here. Ebbsfleet. As we move into added time at the end of this first half at Prenton Park. It's been eventful. So 4 to be added on in this first half. A handball there. What do you think the respective managers, Adam, will have made of this first half?
I think he'll be really pleased, Daryl. I think his side have coped very well. The first 15-20 minutes, especially the way Tranmere started, got themselves a goal. And I think he'd be pleased that after a good start, going a goal behind, that his side have shown great character to get that goal back and be level.
It's all the way through to Ashmore. That ball's getting a few cuddles just of late, isn't it? But it's that game management that you were referring to earlier.
That's what he needs to do now. All comes and closes him down. Needs to try and take the sting out of the game. His game management's absolutely massive at any level.
Norwood to make something of this for Tranmere. Oh, suggesting the corner ball there, maybe slightly optimistically. Also, a crowd of this size, not something that Ebbsfleet as a club have too much experience of. I should say plenty of their players do. 8 of the squad have played in League 2 or above, but how desperately these Tranmere supporters want to see their side back in the Football League. Ebbsfleet looking to do it for the very first time, remember. First time clearance by Sutton. Connors with the header forward for Ebbsfleet. 2 of the 4 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. And it's tense, as you would expect in the playoffs. So much on the line here. Ginnelly. There'll be a late flurry in this first half from Tranmere. Ridehouse with the ball over. Norwood push Cook in the back there. It drops for Cole and strikes it. Wilson was in the way of it.
Another really crucial header from Dave Winfield when the cross come in. Just one of those hanging balls that was there to be going attacked. Just wins it brilliantly.
Well, talked about them maybe wasting a bit of time here. Ebbsfleet, the ball's live. He's just waiting for Norwood to close him down here. What does that say to you, Adam, as a forward player, about the mindset of Ebbsfleet right now?
Well, they're aware that they've had a long game on Wednesday. I don't blame them at all. It's hot conditions today as well, Adam. It's certainly sapped the energy out of the players' legs as well. It frustrates the home crowd again.
Last minute of added time at the end of this first half as Ginnelly sends one down the line. Norwood maybe with the chance to cross. Frustrating end to this first half for Tranmere. There's the half-time whistle then. First half in which it was Ebbsfleet who took the lead. The header from Coulson, who then had to go off injured, replaced by Miles West, and the equaliser for Tranmere, scored by their second top scorer this season, James Norwood. At half-time here, it's Tranmere 1, Ebbsfleet 1.
League playoffs, Sutton United and Boreham Wood. That's tomorrow, 2:30 on 1 and in 4K. Well, it's just a brief hiatus about a possible handball, but we'll get to that in due course. Ebbsfleet in front here against Tranmere, but back came Rovers. James Norwood with an unerring left foot finish after Luke Coulson had put Ebbsfleet in front, and that's how things stand. More discussion, no doubt, at 90 minutes. Just a quick look at that, perhaps, if we've got time, fellas. Long free kick from the goalkeeper. Richie Sutton and Dave Wingfield involved. It does hit the arm, but
it does hit the arm. We were saying about grabbing his shirt, but then it hits his arm. But I think it's a bit of 6 and 2 3. There's nothing in that for me anyway.
Chris, 2 players grappling.
Agreed, nothing. No, play on. Exciting second half coming though, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely.
Just go and win it. Go and believe you can go and win this game.
At least 45 minutes here, and who knows, maybe extra time, maybe penalties. They have to sort it out somehow today. One of these teams goes to Wembley next Saturday. Who will it be? Let's find out. Company of Adam and Adam.
Thank you, Matt. Can't help feeling that that man could have a pivotal part to play. Just wonder, Adam Virgo, what do you think the tone of Mickey Mellon's team talk will have been at half-time?
I think he certainly still needs to keep the players relaxed, keep them calm. Did a lot of good things in that first half, Adam. Long periods of the game where they got into very, very good areas in that final third. Just maybe slow down a bit more quality to really put that back four of Ebbsfleet under pressure. You know you're going to get a chance in the second half. You know that our Oman side are going to certainly tie up. The way that they've used time up when they've had to. You can really see that they're trying to game manage themselves to get through 90 minutes. They'd be delighted with his side's performance in that first half. Really acquitted themselves well in the first 20 minutes. Got that goal.
For one of these sides, this will be their final game of a long and grueling campaign. But still time to make a difference, to seize an opportunity, and to keep the dream alive. The place at Wembley on the line, remember. Winners of this will play either Sutton United or Boreham Wood, remember, at Wembley. A week today, here's Hughes. All the way through to Ashmore. Just a quick reminder, by the way, that we must have a winner this afternoon. Extra time and penalties are both possibilities. Much coveted place in the Football League, what this is all about. Pressure to deal with and to potentially thrive under. Ginelli now. He's done well. Fires one in, and Norwood was there.
It's Kenny Clark as well. Brilliant defending from him. Been outstanding all season, those two, Clark and Winfield. Missed him in the early parts, Dave Winfield, but since he's come back in from his injury, absolutely brilliant.
Remember Kenny Clark saying at the start of the season that the triangle, as he put it of himself, Winfield and Ashmore, was what he felt that the rest of the team was built on, the one that got promoted from National League South. So no changes from either manager at half-time. That's really well done by Weston. Referee played an advantage. Drury now has got Connors up in support. Here's Drury again. Goes down by Hughes. Given away by Buxton. Much to the frustration of the crowd. Whiteley. Taken off him by Hughes. McNulty plays it out here to Larnell Cole.
Just when the ball was that wide, Kedwell wasn't there. It was only really Power and Corey White. That's why I had to try and keep the ball, create something.
Early misplaced passes from Tranmere in particular. Norburn has it back again. Whiteley stayed down. Tranmere go on. Ginelli. His cross was beyond both Cook and Norwood in the middle. Whiteley still down here.
flailing arm from Oliver Norburn.
Yep.
Let's hear from the touchline then from Jeff Brazier.
Yes, the referee, just as they were entering the tunnel at half-time there, pulled Nathan Ashmore and just gave him a warning about his time wasting. It's obviously upsetting the home crowd because they're very keen to get on with the game and try and find this this goal that puts them a goal. But Dale McMahon as well just said that he'd have a word with him at half-time and ensure that it stops.
Interesting. Thanks, Jeff. I think he'll still do it, though.
Imagine him in the 90th minute, being quick to take a goal kick.
Well, the men behind that drum have been praised on many occasions, both this season and last, I remember as well, by Mickey Mellon, for the atmosphere that they create, help to create at Prenton Park. Sutton decides to play it short here to McNulty. Ginelli's header. Miles Weston trying to hold off Norburn, who was fouling it. Ebbsfleet still not in a rush to get things going again. It's all about not letting Tranmere build up that head of steam, because when they do, we know just how devastating Tranmere can be. Only Files, remember, got more goals. Yeah, Danny Rowe in their team as well. Flick on by Clark was a clever one, and Cadwell was always up against it.
It wasn't really the best ball originally from Jack Connors. Kenny Clark making it into a better ball than what it was. And then the flick on, because there was so much power on the free kick, you need a little bit more height on it. Just a little bit too straight.
Wilson. Guided back to the goalkeeper, but Weston will get there first! And he scored! And Ebbsfleet regain their lead, but they've been gifted, absolutely gifted a goal by Tranmere. Big mistake by the goalkeeper, Scott Davis. But Weston has capitalised.
Well, it's a massive goal, and it seems an easy finish. But you know the pressure, when that ball comes to you, you've got to hit the target with the right pace and the right connection. But what are Tranmere doing at the back? There's a little one in the first half where they got a little bit of mixed up. It's Sutton and Scott Davis. I don't think a goalie should be coming out that far. That really should be Richie Sutton's responsibility, just to boot that into Rose Z. They dwell on it. Fair play to Corey Wiley, but this finish is not an easy finish, trust me. In the situation that you are in, the pressure that you're under, the circumstances, that's a quality finish from him, it is.
Well, his last goal was for his country in Antigua's 3-2 win at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua back in March. In very different circumstances, he scores an absolutely priceless goal for Ebbsfleet.
Might have had the same weather.
Tranmere with a man down here, it's Buxton.
There's a difference reacting to their first goal and then reacting to a mistake that led to a goal. You need your big characters now.
7 minutes gone in this second half, and Darryl McMahon's side regained the lead, but from a Tranmere's perspective, ridiculous circumstances, really. What must Mickey Mellon be thinking? You prepare your side, but you can't legislate for that.
Exactly, you can do anything you want, you can talk about your tactics, your formations, anything that you want. But there's just no real communication for me. Two experienced players as well, Adam.
The message from the bench is move on to Scott Davis. Hard, easier said than done, though, isn't it? to try and immediately put that to the back of your mind. I mean, we always talk about the mental side of football. It's huge for him now. Can he get through this second half?
Unfortunately for a goalkeeper, Adam, when you make mistakes, more often than not they lead to a goal. And the season he's had for Tranmere, it's just unfortunate with the magnitude of the game.
And he got 4 in the regular season, Miles Weston. Remember, on as a sub for the man who scored the opener for Ebbsfleet Coulson. How the playoffs write the most remarkable scripts. There is the man in charge at Tranmere Rovers, Mark Palios. Made more than 270 appearances for Tranmere as a player in the 70s and 80s. I remember when we asked him the question last season about the costs of either not going up or not being successful in promotion, he said that going up would have been worth around £1.5 million. Defeat would cost them around £400,000. That was last season. So yeah, we talk about the pride of being a Football League side, but there's also finances at stake here. Play by Miles West in the 10th minute of this second half. Really is a compelling watch at Prenton Park. What a journey this club has been on, Ebbsfleet. Remember, they're looking for consecutive promotions from the 6th to the 4th tier, something that's never been done before since this league was set up in the 79-80 season. If they were to pull it off, it would rival anything that we've seen at this level of football ever in terms of size of achievement.
Exactly. When you look at John Askey and Macclesfield winning the league, that was a phenomenal effort from that football club, considering his budget. And for a newly promoted side, and he's kept with the core of players that got him there as well, Adam.
The step up well. Can Tranmere recover again here? They've done it once. Ginelli skips past Drury, and Ginelli decided to have a go. It was Powell in the way of that. Flick on by Cook. Clark underneath it for Ebbsfleet. Norburn wins it back, and now it's Ginelli. And Ginelli will strike it! Brilliant goal! Oh, what a hit that is! From Josh Ginelli. The man on loan from Burnley has shown a bit of Premier League quality there. That's tremendous. And it's all square.
A great reaction from the home side. And it's a quality finish from Ginelli. They defend that first ball there, but again, they just dwell on it again. Rancer gets caught trying to bring it down. He needs a bit more communication just to hook it on, but he doesn't, and credit to Norburn, he closes him down. Does Connors do enough? But when it comes to that situation there, he strikes it brilliantly, catches it sweet as you like. Nathan Ashmore's a decent shot stopper, but he had no chance of that one.
And again, it's not just joy, but a wave of relief that goes around Prenton Park. It's interesting, when that goal from Weston went in, you look around yourself at the stadium here, and looks on the faces just said, not again. Honest, Clark's rather dwelt on that. Cook was putting him under all sorts of pressure. What a great game we've got on our hands here. Nothing quite like the playoffs. Ginelli, who was found by Buxton. Didn't reach Cole, and now it's Whiteley for Ebbsfleet. Twice, Ebbsfleet have led, twice they've been pulled back. Who's going to go on and win this today? We have to have a winner, remember, this afternoon. No second leg. Yellow card shown for this challenge by Norburn.
He done brilliantly for the goal. Pressing in that midfield. You're going to play in those areas, you certainly have to be brave, but I just thought Grant's just played, should have just cleared it, just should have hooked it on.
Now this has ebbed and flowed. Who can really take this game by the scruff of the neck now? Ebbsfleet led for a second time for just a little over 5 minutes before that equaliser from Ginelli. Clark with the header. Hughes. Norburn. Just overhit for Cole. Nice. Only 21, Josh Ginelli. Only got 1 goal in the regular season for Tranmere, but how he took this one.
Yeah, brilliant strike from him. It's been a very, very good out ball. Not many keepers will say that one. It's a brilliant strike from him. Good pressure in that midfield. Massive goal for Tranmere.
Ashmore beaten for a second time in this game as we approach the hour mark at Prenton Park. Hughes. Collars gets it clear for Ebbsfleet. No team, by the way, lost fewer away games in the regular season in the National League than Ebbsfleet. No team drew more either. That's where we are at the moment, all square here. Drury. Weston gets his pass away here. Powell finds Drury. Ebbsfleet just keep on going, don't they?
It's not a concern just at the minute for Ebbsfleet. They've given absolutely everything, but when the ball's out wide, it's only really Kedwell that's in net as an out ball for a cross against 4 or 5 Tranmere players that are tracking back brilliantly to get goal side.
Powell. Back it goes here for Connors. Weston. Well, one back by Hughes. Ransom Norwood in a straight race, and it was the Ebbsfleet man that won it. Drury's header back to Ashmore.
It'd be vital now, just in this period of the game where you need to try and keep the ball and try and just take the little sting out of Tranmere. Brilliant against Aldershot. He's done that for the majority of the season, but you need someone in that midfield area now just to try and get a bit of control of the game for Ebbsfleet.
Darren McMahon has said to us on a couple of occasions in terms of speed of thought, Drury is as quick as anybody in this league. Ginelli. Back it goes here for Buxton, the supporters player of the year at Tranmere. Chased down by Cadwell. Calm on the ball though, the former Northern Ireland international. Knocked down by Cole. Norwood strikes it straight at Ashmore.
Decent strike there from James Norwood. Already Norburn just on the side of him if he just maybe felt there's a little ball on the outside. But you're getting good runs now from Cole in off that line.
Who's forward here to take the throw in for Ebbsfleet. Clearance by Sutton, brought down by Rance, lovely control from him. Drury picks out Connors. Powell. play before Buxton could prevent the throw-in.
I think Jack Powell will be certainly really important when the ball's out wide with Connors in particular, because he's the one who's more creating the angle. Kedwell's staying central between the two centre halves, so it's really important his movement in the final third is good, and they find him early with a forward pass.
He's going to be launched in there. No surprise really with someone like Kedwell to aim at. Goalkeeper Davies, after that earlier error, might be a little nervous. A lovely flip by Cook, and now they'll use the pace of Norwood. And Norburn's racing forward in support of him as well. It's Norburn! And goes down! No penalty.
He's done brilliantly. He's done really well there, Nathan Ashmore. He makes a decision early to come off his line. He's in control of what he wants to do. Delicate touch from Andy Cook there on the halfway line. Speed and fitness of Norwood.
Drury now, as Ebbsfleet look to mount an attack of their own. Good movement from Kedwell. Try to play it to Whiteley instead.
And the game's certainly starting to stretch in Tranmere's favour now on the counter-attack.
Ginelli now. Difficult cross to try and find Cook from there. Had to be precise, and it was far from that. Wilson. One thing they can't afford to do, Ebbsfleet, with the amount of football they've played in the last month or so, is to give away possession cheaply.
I mentioned just a little while ago, the likes of Andy Drury trying to keep the ball, but the outball to Danny Kedwell has to be a good one into him, because the midfield now just dropping a little bit deeper. The back four are worried about Norwood's placing behind, so they're dropping a little bit deeper.
Ginelli, good movement here from Norwood. And there's the crossover towards Cook. But Wilson knew exactly who was behind him and didn't take any chances.
Well, it was a great counter-attacking play. He's come off his line early, and then all of a sudden he's made a decision. I think he's done really well there, Nathan Ashmore. Slightly panicked when the goalie comes out like that, but for me, he was in complete control of that. Yeah, he gets a slight touch there, but good goalkeeping in my opinion.
Norwood got his head to it. Slight appeal for handball, but it was straight at Clark. Tranmere are going to try again here. 25 minutes to go in this playoff semi-final. Outswinger from Rydalsh, and Cook was arriving.
He's been patient for today to try and wait for one or two opportunities, Andy Cook. Just gets that little run on Dave Winfield, just couldn't quite control the header on target.
Mark Pugac is joined by Chris Sutton, Jermaine Genus, John Hartson, Owen Hargreaves and Robbie Savage to bring you all the latest scores today from half-2. Southampton fighting for Premier League survival, head for Goodison Park later to face Everton. That's from 5 and also in 4K. And Jake Humphrey is joined by Francis Benali, Glenn Hoddle and Owen Hargreaves to round up today's matches in Premier League tonight. That's from 8 o'clock. Another programme in 4K. Who is going to advance to Wembley though? Nothing between Tranmere and Ebbsfleet. We love the unpredictability of the end of season playoffs. They always deliver. So this nothing new for Ebbsfleet. 3 of the last 4 seasons they've competed in the playoffs. Twice lost National League South promotion finals before eventually winning one last season. Very handy experience for them to be able to call upon. Many of these Ebbsfleet players were involved in all of that. Some activity on that Ebbsfleet bench. Second change of the game being ready by Darryl McMahon. The timing of the changes so important, in particular for Ebbsfleet, when you consider that they had extra time midweek game. Of course, against Aldershot, the eliminator, while Tranmere has been training this week, no matches. Good battle going on there.
Always knew it'd be physical. Cook, Clark and Winfield. Solid again.
I should remind you that we're off to Gander Green Lane tomorrow for the second semi-final. Sutton United host Boreham Wood, 2:30 the start time for that, also in 4K. The winners will go to Wembley and face the winners of this game in the first semi-final. No second legs involved in the semi-finals this year, remember, in this new National League playoff format. It's win or bust. Volleyed forward by McNulty. Again, it's Cook and Clark tangling with each other. Powell. It goes to Kedwell. Comes that change then for Ebbsfleet. It's Powell who's being taken off here. And play coming on is McCoy. Interesting change this by Darren McMahon. Right back by trades McCoy. Powell, of course, playing as an attacking central midfielder.
So they bring Ranson at right back. I just think they're just losing a slight out ball out on the flanks. You have Weston on that left-hand side. I think White has not been into the game. I think he's more effective, slightly more central, and I think that's what Darren McMahon's just tried to do, to give Kedwell a little bit more support in that final third, because 3 or 4 times now the ball's gone up to him and he's been really isolated, and Sutton and McNulty have done well against him. But when they get the ball now in midfield, they've got a good out ball to McCoy. Yes, he's the natural right back, but just pushing on as a right winger can certainly do a job there.
He's with Watford and Arsenal as a young player, Marvin McCoy. Antigua and Barbuda international. Comes off the head of Clark, and it's going to be a corner here for Tranmere. Last 20. These players need to dig deep here. Such a long, gruelling season in the National League. 46 games, remember. Still chasing that holy grail of the Football League. In it goes. Comes all the way across here to Norburn. Hughes. It's past Drury. And Hughes with the pass. Norburn's arriving. Great block. Brilliant that from Connors. Ginelli. Is he blocked off there? Referee says yes. Free kick in a great position here for the home side.
Just a couple of tired challenges now from Andy Drury. The one previously where he slid in, going to ground. Just a little bit too too quick there, Ginelli.
And what about this for a block from Connors?
I've done this so many times, and you're going to have to do it more often now when you're dropping a little bit deeper. Momentum's with the home side.
Northern Irishman Hughes, who's going to be taking this. Kedwell watching Sutton closely, but will Ashmore be worked here?
It's a horrible angle for a defender to play against with this left footer of Hughes coming in. Well, he's got that quality to go towards goal.
Sutton's just made his way to the edge of the area too, and it's floated in by Hughes.
It's either one or the other. He didn't do either with that cross that came in.
As Jeff Brazier was telling us early into the second half, the referee did have a word with Ashmore about time wasting at half-time. I don't think this is what's happening here. The referee calling the physio over here for Ashmore.
It's a good claim from him. Just trying to see what. Did he just get caught by Andy Cook when he landed? I don't know.
Just wonder whether it's the way that he's fallen. It's anything I can think of. That's, yeah, they are looking at the knee. So we have this break in play. Just to remind you again that we're at Gander Green Lane tomorrow. Sutton United against Boreham Wood. The Wood who beat Files in the second eliminator on Thursday night by 2-1. 2:30 start time for that. Should hopefully be another great watch that as well. It's been a brilliant week as we expected it would be. Loads of drama, loads of tension. And it's nowhere near done yet. He's certainly not the most popular man in Prenton Park, is he? Not much in the way of sympathy for the injury. On we go. Sutton's header. Weston first to it. Connors.
So you just feel that Ebbsfleet just slanting to tire slightly now. Just a couple of tired balls. Moving in that final third is just not quite there for them.
Tranmere, of course, National League runners-up for a second season running. Finished the campaign with back-to-back defeats, but they'd won 6 in a row before that. Can they find a way to get past Ebbsfleet here? And there would be one more hurdle to go after that. Chance of redemption for Tranmere after, of course, losing the playoff final last season against Forest Green Rovers at Wembley. Many of this Tranmere squad stayed on for this season as well, hoping to right that wrong. There's frustration from the home support here that Ebbsfleet aren't getting on with this more quickly. Sent forward by Connors. Whiteley's able to turn and get the shot in as well. And that's a warning for Tranmere.
Well, he is. Just give him half a yard, he can certainly try and create something. He's had 2 volleys in the first half, and now really in this second half. First time he's just got a little turn there. Norburn, it was always going to be difficult to wrap your foot around that to really test Scott Davis.
It's Tranmere's free kick. How Tranmere have finished seconds for the second season running, particularly frustrating for them when you consider that their points total of last season, 95, which they were runners-up with, would have won the title by 3 points this season. Macclesfield got 92. Rance headed clear, and off goes Miles Weston. Having a run at Buxton here. Decided to go on the outside. I thought he might go in.
Yeah, he did really well there. Adam Buxton. Just a bit of defending, just showing one way or the other. He showed him down the line, then that's where it drew in the foul.
Drury. Rance with the ball back here to Ashmore. Looking to hold off Hughes. Goes to Norwood. by Wilson on Cole. Mickey Mellon was keen to get the ball back in play there for Tranmere. Just continues to be a lack of rhythm, a lack of flow to the game, and it's really harming perhaps Mickey Mellon's side chances more than Ebbsfleet at the moment.
Really more than happy for free kicks to be taken back and trying to frustrate the home side.
Of course, Darryl McMahon's side had to come from behind away at Aldershot during the week, got a late equaliser, ended up winning on penalties. As it drops here for Ginelli. As he blocked off there. Just wonder, Adam, how much what happened during the week starts to come into the minds of the Ebbsfleet players here.
Well, I said they gave absolutely everything against Aldershot, and they know that going into extra time they finished strongly. And speaking to Darren today, he said that they finished, so he felt the side of his fitness of his side was certainly there.
It'll give them belief as well, though, won't it? Particularly if it goes to a penalty shootout, but that's all a long way off right now.
90 minutes extra time penalties. So a lot of travelling as well in this last month from the Ebbsfleet players, and they're giving Tranmere a match for their money at the moment. So a team coming in with a week off, the freshness of, as we mentioned, finishing now second and third for Sutton and Tranmere, certainly advantage the two sides over this weekend.
It's been a tremendous end to the season for Ebbsfleet, only lost once in their final 14 matches. And that was against Sutton on the 21st of April. Prior to that, Tranmere had been the last side to beat them, that was in February. Rydalsh. Norburn. It's Norburn again. It's at Wembley at the end of last season with Macclesfield. Norwood with the chance to play it over. And they've just about got away with that one. Cook came so close to getting to it. Always the slip here by Weston. Buxton trying to keep them going. It was not the greatest of challenges that by Weston. He had to be careful.
And he had to time it rightly. Dave Winfield again.
Ginelli. Winfield with the header clear. Ian Clark really have again been immense at the bat for Ebbsfleet. Buxton was in an offside position. I think he's injured as well.
Andy Cook was there. He thought, now's my opportunity to get myself a goal. Brilliant one from James Norwood. Goes for goal. Ashmore just does brilliantly just to get something on it. And when you need someone to cover you like that, Dave Winfield's there. That's brilliant defending. That's top quality defending from him.
Really does lead by example, doesn't he? Ebbsfleet captain, who's an injured out coming into this, Adam Buxton, has had a stomach muscle problem which he picked up at Halifax on the 21st of April, has missed a couple of games. It looks as though that might be a recurrence of that problem, doesn't it?
He's not right now. I think it certainly was a doubt for Mickey Mellon coming into this game that he took a risk with him. I mean, to get 80 minutes out of taking the risk of an injured player, he's done well.
It's Manny Monte who's going to be coming on, a player who got promoted via the playoffs with Forest Green last season. He played in the final against Tranmere. Started out at QPR, Monte. There's a popular figure, local lad, Adam Buxton, supporters player of the year. And you've got to credit him for giving it a go today, because he wasn't a major doubt.
Well, he was. I mean, he hadn't trained for the majority of the week. Mickey Mellon knew that he was certainly taking a risk with him.
I'm not even sure, really, that he would have been risked had it not been such an important game, and he has been such a key player for Tranmere at the back this season. Very consistent. And Monte is on. His experience, recent playoff winning experience, could prove important, who knows? Did wonder whether he might go into the centre of defence, but Sutton has stayed there.
Certainly an area now that Weston and Corey Whiteley may certainly look at to try and capitalise on a natural centre-half coming in at full-back.
We're heading for extra time here. I suppose for the neutral, you wouldn't mind another half an hour, would you?
It's been excellent, isn't it? Certainly doesn't help the tension of home and away fans. Got to give credit to Ebbsfleet though, Adam. They've one of the away journeys in the month of April and then going 90 in extra time against Aldershot to still play as well as they've done. It's a really hot day here today.
Clark got there before Cook. Drury. Rance. Drury. Nicely worked here to Whiteley. Can he provide a moment of magic? Still going Whiteley. Was he brought down by McNulty? The referee says no.
I think he's got a certain case there. Brilliant ball through though to Drury. He then get on a half turn, then you can get Whiteley into a good position.
Norburn. Good movement from Norwood, but then he changed direction. Let's have another look at that challenge by McNulty.
Well, he does really, really well to fend off Monte. I think that's a foul there. No really nice ball playing there from Steve McNulty.
Up to Kedwell. Certainly handled Kedwell well for the most part. Ginelli, scorer of the second equaliser for Tranmere, gets it back again off Norwood. Norwood. Hughes takes it on now for Tranmere.
I wish he hadn't now.
Well, we're heading towards the final 5 minutes now of this first playoff semi-final. Managers who know just how close they are to achieving that dream of Football League status. Really just illustrate the difference in size between these two clubs, the respective supporter basis. Around 9,000 in Prenton Park today. Tranmere's average gate this season more than 3 times that of Ebbsfleet. It's a big gap that they're looking to make up. Darren McMahon's side. Oh, Kedwell here. And McCoy's made a run down the line. And Whiteley is in the box. Still well to win the throw-in.
He did brilliant there, Danny Kedwell. He's just run tirelessly for his side in this second half. Hardly ever touched the ball, but then just put pressure on Oliver Norburn just to get his side a little bit of a break.
18 National League goals for him this season. Is he going to get a chance in what remains here? Long throw in from McCoy, flicked on by Cadwell. Now here's the pacey Ginelli, trapped by Weston. Monte. Hughes. James Norwood. Monte. Urged to shoot by the crowd, and he did, and that was travelling. Cole. Norwood. Ginelli goes on the outside, the cross over towards Cook. It's kept in by Ridehalsh. Came off Wilson and a throw into Tranmere. Ball lost though by Cole. Cadwell couldn't make it stick, and here come Tranmere again.
Just needed that ball to go a little bit more in the channel.
Cole. Cross by Ridehalsh was deflected. Cook was unable to bring it down. He has been well marshalled, the National League's Golden Boot winner this season. Whiteley. Connors. 177 points Tranmere have amassed over the last 2 National League seasons, yet still by no means guaranteed a place in the Football League next season. Amazing, really. Can they find a winner in normal time? Well, extra time, potentially penalties being required today at Prenton Park. Hughes, Ridehouse has made a run down the left. Norwood, Ginelli. Whiteley not known for his defending, but he's done that very well indeed there for the cause. Sutton. Cole gets it wide to Ridehouse. Is it going to be yet another away day draw for Ebbsfleet? 10 of them they had in the National League regular season. Cook might decide to hit it and lost his footing. Just over a minute of normal time remaining here. Ginelli. Ginelli inside to Norburn, time to weigh up the ball in. It's to Norwood, and Cole is getting ready to hit it, but taken away from him by Connors. Whiteley being chased by Monte. Not too much in the way of support here for Whiteley. He's been clever, very clever in winning the free kick.
Absolutely brilliantly there. He realised that Hughes was coming across, and he would certainly have to run out Monte, shield the ball, feel the contact, go down. All of a sudden now, they're going for it now.
Well, the centre halves are on their way. Up comes Winfield. Up comes Clark. Last minute of normal time. Encouragement for the Ebbsfleet supporters. The rest of Prenton Park holds its breath here. It's a deep ball by Weston. It's way too deep, and in the circumstances, what a waste that is.
It's a waste.
Something must drive a manager mad. So into added time we go. There's going to be 4 minutes of it. Winfield with the header. Goalkeeper Davis catches that well on the edge of the box. There was pressure on that.
He did well there. He's urging his players that got to go long into Cook.
Pretty much in next goal, the winner territory if it's to come without the aid of extra time. And someone find a moment of inspiration that will send one of these sides to Wembley. Ginelli, Monte, Ginelli. Into the feet of Hughes, the flick for Monte. The cross in towards the near post, which had been read by Clark. Corner. Ebbsfleet about to go to extra time for the second time in the space of a week. It's going to be a massive ask of them, but Tranmere want to get this done without the aid of extra time. Twice Tranmere have come from behind at home. Can their side find a winner now in added time here? Into a good area. Weston flicks it on and races with Ginelli for this. Will be mentally preparing now for extra time, as will the managers. These sides finished 2nd and 6th respectively this season. Knocked down by Cook. Been his day yet. Get extra time to put that right though. goes. Turns away from Whiteley, gets the pass away to Norwood. Could they win it here right at the end? Norwood to Cook, and Ginnelli's in support of him. Here's Ginnelli, there's the ball in, and it's turned behind by Clark. It's all Tranmere.
They're really holding on brilliantly again. Clark being the stonewall defender, reading the danger brilliantly. Long, hard season could really just come down to this moment now.
Last minute of added time. It's Tranmere posing the questions. Have Ebbsfleet got the answers? Season's work on the line here. And it goes from Ridehouse. What a claim that is from Ashmore. Brilliant goalkeeper.
Whenever you need your goalie to come and claim something, to relieve the pressure off you just then. He's done that really, really well.
Commanding. Long it goes from Ashmore. Goodness me, there will be some tired, weary legs out there. But they are going to have to dig deep, it would seem, both sets of players. Nothing to separate these two sides. Ginnelli it was with the second equaliser for Tranmere after Weston had put Ebbsfleet in front in the second half. This playoff semi-final goes to extra time, a real test of endurance at the end of a gruelling season. Two sides who really need to dig deep. So much on the line. Extra time is coming up. You don't want to miss it.
I think both sets. Who's got more left? Who's got what it takes? Back we go to Adam and Adam.
Here we go then. How the nerves. Another 30 minutes, which for the neutral is no bad thing because this has been a compelling watch. The playoffs once again delivering for us. An incredible amount of pressure on both of these sides, but if we're honest, particularly Tranmere Rovers.
Yeah, massively. Just coming in before these playoffs, Adam, you looked at probably Aldershot and Tranmere, the two sides that are under pressure. You look at the other teams, could not have been there. Their expectancy at the start of the season. Looking at the last 15-20 minutes for Ebbsfleet, you sort of felt that the tiredness from the Aldershot game was slowly starting to creep in. But in fairness, to take Tranmere to a draw after 90 minutes is a huge credit to Vanarama Marn's side.
The Wembley Arch clearly in view, but which one of these sides can plot their way to the National League promotion final? Remember, a week today at the National Stadium. Connors with the ball in, McCoy at the back post. He was looking to pick out Kedwell. I just wonder if penalties are already in the back of his mind. He was one of the heroes of the shootout, wasn't he, for Ebbsfleet against Aldershot on Wednesday. Scott Davis might not be the most confident as well in light of what happened for that second goal for Ebbsfleet. So much unscripted drama ahead of us here. Half an hour of extra time and then the possibility of penalties. Monte with the ball in. To bounce by Connors. Bit of cramp here for Ginnelli. Sportingly helped out by Ashmore. Matt Marn has said on many occasions just lately that his side never get beaten easily. He said, you beat us, you've really got to beat us. Another phrase he used when he said, you never let go, ever. This team's got that belief in abundance. Team full of character, belief and togetherness, and they're going to have to show that here. But this cramp episode continues here for Ginnelli. We all know how uncomfortable that can be. They're reduced just temporarily here to 10 men, Tranmere.
So if he doesn't come back on, that would be a major loss for Mickey Mellon. Not only the goal that he created for the second one, but just his all-round movement up against Connors. You'd certainly feel in decent areas that he'd maybe had the better of the full-back.
Has only made the one change, remember, so far, Mickey Mellon. Cook showed good strength there. Norburn's getting into the box. Cole's there too. It's Cook. And it is a corner.
Just dwelling on it a little bit there, Jack Connors. Let the ball bounce, and this is what happens in the defensive area. Winfield does brilliant, just show him down the line.
He's been absolutely excellent in this playoff campaign so far. Dave Winfield, real leader. And towards that near post where Monte was up from the back, it falls again here for Ridehouse onto that cultured left foot, in goes the cross, and Cook was arriving. That looked a nasty collision there. It was Kedwell who collided with Cook.
Another brave header there from another Ebbsfleet player, this time Danny Kedwell. Brave header there, just right there from Andy Cook.
He really is remarkable, Danny Kedwell, 34 years old. At the start of the season, he said that he expected to just be used mostly as an impact substitute. He's played 45 league games, their top scorer with 18. I just mentioned that Mickey Mellon had only made one change. Well, he's going to make his second here, and it's a central midfielder in the shape of Jay Harris who's going to be coming on. Giannelli now feeling his hamstring, I think, after suffered that bout of cramp. Well, he has put it in today. Scored a lovely goal as well.
He did. Great goal from him. Brilliant strike. Crucial time of the game to get Tranmere back into it. Yeah, good performance from him.
Acknowledged by 9,000 or so fans, the majority of them anyway, inside Prenton Park. But Jay Harris will come on. He's found himself out of the side of late, but it wasn't that long ago that Mickey Mellon described him as the heartbeat of the team, the man who really keeps things ticking over. Very different player to Giannelli, though.
Well, he is. Now they're slightly imbalanced now in that midfield area. You've got three central ones in Harris, Norburn now, and Hughes. I mean, he certainly will do a job on that right-hand side, but I'm sure Miles Weston more often than not will sort of play goal side of him and try and get him tracking back towards his own goal. So Cole now really on the left-hand side is their only out ball.
Now there by Norwood on Rance. Set piece, so Winfield needs no second invitation to get forward. Clark is up there too. Scored that late equalising goal in the eliminator, and it looked like they were done and dusted against Aldershot during the week. It is a real never-say-die attitude from Ebbsfleet. You could say the same of Tranmere today, though, twice come from behind. Winfield was the target. He was tangling with Monte.
He's hit three diagonals now, Jack Connors, from deep midfield positions, and now no real help for us as a defender to try and get something on that. He's certainly pulling Monte's shirt early on.
This first period of extra time. The trumpeter looks to get Tranmere going.
So you'll be delighted standing in front of him, won't you?
Mickey Mellon loves them, the band and the drummers. I've heard him praise them many times. Cook with the layoff. Connors with the clearance. waited a year, haven't they, Tranmere, or just under that, to try and put this right. What happened at Wembley? They were beaten by Forest Green Rovers, the better side on the day. And they find their way to the Wembley Arch again this year. Will it be Ebbsfleet? It's, by the way, Tranmere's 8th playoff campaign, only one of the previous 7 successful, that in 1991 when they beat Bolton in the old Division 3 playoff final at Wembley. They haven't been kind to this club, the playoffs. Clark's header. What drops for Harris? Oh, kicked air there, Wilson. And Norwood twisting and turning. Thought for a moment that might find the top corner.
Just need a bit of composure with the clearance. Rory Wilson, just an air shot really. Horrible bounce in front of him. And the angle we're at just looks like those ones that just creep in that far post area. I mean, this will certainly tell us how close it was. Certainly close as I thought it was.
Will either Cook or Norwood come to the fore for Tranmere in what remains of this game? It goes towards Whiteley. Plenty of match winners potentially out there for Ebbsfleet as well. Winfield's header, flicked on by Rance. Weston now. Whiteley's gone through the middle. Now he peels out wide. Whiteley's ball in. Drury was beaten to it by Harris, and there was a foul by the Ebbsfleet there.
Oh, he done really well there. Jay Harris. Winning those second balls is so important when the defenders clear it.
Long it goes from Davis. Hughes. It's Cole being held there. Referee just let it develop. Gives the free kick. Good referee.
Yeah, it was. Really well done there, Peter Wright. Just that little tug on Cole, and he certainly saw it.
Final 5 minutes of this first half of extra time.
We've certainly got a couple of options here. Ian Rideoush's left foot. He whipped into that far post area. There's James Norwood certainly fancies his chance from that distance.
Left foot of Ridehouse, or the right of Norwood. Ashmore has been excellent again so far today for Ebbsfleet. As Norwood sent it in. Brilliant! What a way that could be to reach Wembley. Picture perfect from James Norwood. Ashmore, who has been brilliant today, is beaten, and Tranmere for the first time this afternoon lead in this playoff semi-final.
Unbelievable. That is truly a top-class free kick from James Norwood. Goes goalkeeper's side, gets a slight hand on it, can't quite tip it around the post. The smile says it all. And you need a bit of quality. That's top draw.
Desolation for Ebbsfleet. Wonderful strike from James Norwood. 20 goals in the regular season, and another 2 today from him. Drops for Whiteley here, edge of the area. Kedwell strikes it. Took a deflection, I think. Just kept in play. I think Kedwell was hoping it would be left for a corner. In fact, it is going to be a corner.
McCoy was just doing that. You can clearly see it's taking a deflection. He's trying his best to keep it in.
He's been put through the ringer today. He's kept quite the poker face on the touchline, though. Not easy to do, I should imagine, with the pressure that he's under, Mickey Mellon. This is a club that expects to be in the Football League. It's their third season outside of it. It's Weston who sends this in for Ebbsfleet. Punched clear by Davis. Whiteley sends it back in there. Rand sliding in to try and win it back, but it's Hughes who puts the ball out here.
Just be calm in possession now, Tranmere. It's just that first ball forward. Ebbsfleet are going forward.
Darren McMahon making a change and attacking one. Wabo being brought on. He's 19 years old. Norman Wabo, he's on loan from Southend. Scored 16 goals in 17 appearances for Southend's under-23s this season. He's yet to score a senior goal. Well, from an Ebbsfleet perspective, now would be the time. For the first time in this game now, Tranmere are the ones with something to protect. Kedwell with the chest down, and Winfield blocked off by McNulty. Last minute of the first half of extra time. Ironic cheers, because now it's the other goalkeeper who maybe is doing the time wasting. What goes around comes around. Two minutes of injury time is the word that we're going to have at the end of this first half of extra time. There's still time yet for Ebbsfleet to find an equaliser. Probably don't need to remind you that they left it very late indeed in the eliminator at Aldershot. But for the first time today, you just sense that the Tranmere supporters genuinely believe now that it's their side off to Wembley.
Certainly things are just falling nicely for them little free kicks.
Yellow card shown by the referee to Andy Cook. Inside these 2 minutes to be added on there in this first half of extra time. It's confirmation of that booking for Andy Cook, the National League's top scorer. First Tranmere player to top a scoring chance in any division since John Aldridge back in 1996 in the old Division 1. Bounces off Norwood and behind a goal kick. Wilson had to be more precise, really, that for Whiteley. Cole, massive ass this for Ebbsfleet, having played midweek, forced to extra time in midweek, extra time again, and now they trail. He said his side never gives it. Right now would never be a better example of that. Some record, you know, that he's got in his first 3 seasons at Ebbsfleet. 254 points from 130 games, a rate of 1.95 points per game. McCoy, too much on it for Weston, headed out by Monte.
Just lost a little bit of quality in the ball, Ebbsfleet. But as you mentioned there, the games that they've had, fatigue certainly coming in.
Tranmere halfway there. They lead 3-2 at half-time in extra time. A beauty of a free kick from James Norwood is the difference at the moment.
Well, Daryl McMahon marching onto the pitch, trying to find some life in, I'm sure, a very tired and perhaps a little bit, Grant Holt, dispirited bunch now if they're not careful.
They have to, but they're in the same predicament the other day. They've just got to keep going and keep grinding it, and that's all they can do. They're going to have to take the chances. The only thing is Tranmere might hit them on the break, but they've got to go for it now. They've done all the hard work the last 240 minutes nearly.
Yeah, and in gambling, exactly as Grant says, Chris, they could leave the back door open.
Well, they could. He changed it in the game to match up to Tranmere because he just felt that they were being overrun, and they're just digging in, hoping to get that one break, that one bit of brilliance from somebody. But if that is to be the winning goal, it is absolutely magnificent, you have to say.
And a little irony that Nathan Ashmore's been wasting time all day, and then he's a bit late to the free kick from James Norwood, who obviously has taken two well-taken goals to put Tranmere finally in front, and they're now thinking if they can allow themselves, certainly the supporters, a little bit about Wembley next Saturday.
Yeah, I think so. I think the difference is that you look at them, they look dead defeated, but they're just going to keep going, Ebbsfleet.
Yeah.
To be fair to Tranmere, the keeper will be disappointed. Nothing worse than seeing the goalkeeper get done on his side. And I said, for them lads, now it's you've done your work during the week, you've just got to keep working on and keep doing it. The difference is Tranmere look like every time they're going to go forward now they're going to score. So roll the dice, you'll either work at it one, and that's football.
Hot day, of course, that would take its toll in any case, but after extra time and penalties on Wednesday, tough ask for Ebbsfleet. Remember, Mark and Jules will have BT Sports Score all the Saturday afternoon stories, including, I think, the relegation of Stoke City, the fallout to that. All that to come, but the Super White Army here are believing they are Wembley bound. 15 minutes for them to negotiate. Ebbsfleet, of course, will do their utmost to stay in the playoff story. Back we go to Adam and Adam.
Tranmere 15 minutes from Wembley here. Cop standing to salute their players as they get ready to get this second half of extra time underway. There have been times today when it looked like the dream might be snatched away from Tranmere. They want that shot at redemption, Adam Virgo, after what happened at Wembley last season against Forest Green Rovers. Ebbsfleet have been magnificent in these playoffs, but is this going to be a bridge too far for them?
Well, it's a massive 15 minutes for Daryl McMahon's side. You know that tired legs are now really going to start creeping in, and that freshness of Tranmere can certainly come into play.
This being the playoffs, though, you just can never, ever rule anything out. Especially where Ebbsfleet are concerned, they seem to be a side who just don't know when their race is run, but here's Cole. Oh! It's off the keeper! And that's not just doing it over Tranmere. He absolutely hammered that, Lionel Cole. A wave of relief, of joy, of euphoria all around Prenton Park. They can start booking the train tickets now, perhaps.
Well, they've showed unbelievable character, Tranmere, to go 2 goals behind during 90 minutes. And all of a sudden, the power of this shot is just too much for Nathan Ashmore. You very rarely see this from a goalkeeper when he gets a good view of it, but the power is just too much for him. Winds it up brilliantly. Cole strikes it so well. And Ashmore really could just stand there, just try and get something on as quickly as can. Are they almost there now, Tranmere?
And how relieved that man will feel, Scott Davis, after what happened with that second goal. That mistake involving Sutton at the back as well. Lionel Cole's first goal since November. Ebbsfleet looking to hit back immediately, headed clear by McNulty. Lovely turn by Norwood, and on he goes. If he finishes this, it'll be absolutely brilliant. Challenged by Winfield. Wonderful defending. And there's some afters here with Harris. I think they're both lucky here that their teammates were over as quickly as they were to split that up, because that was really threatening to badly boil over. Red card. He's been sent off. Well, what a really sad end to what's been an amazing season for Ebbsfleet. They've conducted themselves impeccably, but maybe we're just seeing the utter frustration of what's happened to them, having led twice in this game, to now be losing 4-2. And it's really got to the head maybe of the captain. Harris, the player down here for Tranmere.
Well, it's a real shame because he's been colossus. Great play from Norwood, brilliant challenge from him. Sad end to the game.
Let's have a look at exactly what happened there. It was brilliant in the first instance from Norwood.
He did brilliantly there. Winfield's not giving up on him. It's a brilliant challenge. It's the second one here. It's a late challenge from Harris there, and he's sort of leaned into him, and all of a sudden he's just gone and grabbed him for some reason. Then all of a sudden it's just gone carnage. Players getting involved, people running 50, 60 yards.
That's a little bit of afters here down in the dugouts as well. The irony of all of this is that Harris, the Tranmere player involved, has been sent off 9 times during his playing career. Harris has been booked as well, by the way. The referee here just consulting with the 4th official in light of what's happened down in the technical areas. And the managers, at least, are getting on here. I think some of the coaches on either bench are certainly having crosswords. And now McNulty has shown a yellow card as well here. Well, Harris waiting to come back on. Everybody wants to have their say to the referee here. I think Eric Nixon, the former Tranmere goalkeeper, now on the coaching staff, I think seems to be being sent to the stands here. Is it Aaron McLean, I think, as well, has been sent off here? Well, you can understand that tensions are high, that it's passionate, Adam, but for me this is a real shame that this is ending like this, because it's been a brilliant contest between two really, well, sides who we all know how much it means to them.
I mean, so Dave Winfield's been absolutely brilliant today, and it is a sour end to the game.
Let's see if we can try and clear up a little bit what went on down in the technical areas. Jeff Brazier's down there for us.
Yeah, I mean, we've started with McNulty walked off with David Winfield, telling him what he was thinking about him, which Aaron McLean, the player coach of Ebbsfleet, took exception to. And then one of the other assistant coaches from the Tranmere Rovers bench started to throw some pushes around. He's been sent off. Aaron McLean, I believe, has been sent from the bench as well. So it has ultimately descended into chaos, and I think the referees are just starting to get into a position where the game can resume.
Thank you, Jeff. Still it goes on down there. Tranmere, well, I was going to say about 10 minutes from Wembley. It's going to be a bit more than that now, because that's taken a long time to all sort out. So Ebbsfleet, well, already had a mountain to climb. Stoppage, by the way, around 4 minutes after that red card for Winfield. Ebbsfleet down to 10 men and 2 goals behind in extra time here. If they were to recover this from this position, we'll be talking about it forever and a day.
It certainly would be. It's a tall ask before being made even more of a mountain to climb. It's a shame, because it was actually really good play of football. James Norwood on the halfway line, doing tricks I've never seen him do in his life, the nutmeg, and then Winfield covering back brilliantly to make a last-ditch challenge, which really emphasises his whole performance, not only today but throughout the season. And then the aftermark afterwards. I saw Winfield when he was walking off. McNulty was in his ear. Magnay was coming off the bench shouting at him.
Just confirmation of a booking for Drury, who are being dished out at a rate it was difficult to keep up with for a moment there. Eric Nixon sent to the stands, Aaron McLean sent away as well. just how much, Adam, is the new playoff format plays a part here in terms of the fact that, and most would say rightly so, it's been weighted in the favour of the team that finishes highest in the league, and in this case that's Tranmere.
Exactly. I mean, you look at Ebbsfleet with the extra time that they had to go through in the penalty shootout, and you look at Bournemouth, the injuries that Lou Garrard picked up against Fylde. I've noticed more tension in these playoffs because they're one-off games. Two-legged affair. I feel that after the first leg it's slightly different. You look at Fylde, you maybe feel that they could have turned it around against Bournemouth with another leg, but I've just noticed more tension in these games.
Just to let you know that BT Sports Score will follow this programme, waiting to bring you up to date with all the goings on around the country. And just to let you know as well that we have the second semi-final. Goodness me, we're going to have to rouse ourselves again for that. Unbelievable entertainment. Let's hope for more of the same at Gander Green Lane when it's Sutton United against Bournemouth. They'll have been watching this, steeling themselves. Two goals to the good now. It'll be Tranmere maybe thinking about conserving energy levels.
Time now, run it into the corners. Don't do anything silly.
Harris. Cook. Goal for him would really put the icing on the cake for Tranmere. Monte brought down by Kedwell. And the suggestion from Mickey Mellon, I think there, was that maybe Kedwell left a bit on Monte. The referee's got cramped now, I think. So he's okay here, the referee. I'm not sure he'd have got the same level of sympathy maybe that Ginelli got if he'd had to go down with cramp. It's given us so much though, this game, Adam.
It's been brilliant. I think both sets of players, managers have to take a huge amount of credit. Ebbsfleet have really battled all the way against a very, very good Tranmere side, but then also you have to give credit to Mickey Mellon's guile, determination, the character of these players in front of a big crowd today. To concede to, go behind twice in the game and turn things around. Certainly shows the character of this Tranmere squad.
Well, we talked so much pre-match and during the match about the character of Darren McMahon's Ebbsfleet, and rightly so, because they have shown a tremendous amount of it, but Adam Virgo quite right to how much Tranmere have responded to adversity today as well. Monta is taken off in by Norwood. Cook. Ridehouse goes on the outside. Here's Ridehouse, here's Andy Cook.
What are you doing, Ashmore?
The referee here is just struggling a bit, Peter Wright. Walking okay now, but there's been a couple of occasions where just stretched out his leg. He's had a good game though, hasn't it? The referee, trying circumstances. Wabo now. Drury.
Just see how tired they are now. No real options in front of them, even when you're going long. Need Kedwell central just to give an out ball.
Drury's ball in. McNulty heads back to Davis. Harmless man in Prenton Park. They never do things the easy way, Tranmere, do they?
Certainly don't. Still some fans in and around me.
As he well knows, Mark Palios, the chairman. Two minutes of extra time to go, but there will be added time on top of that after that sending off of Winfield and the melee that ensued on and off the pitch afterwards. West, you remember, had got the goal in the second half and had put Ebbsfleet 2-1 up. The race, particularly down to 10 men, looks run here for Ebbsfleet, but if they could get one back here, it's been a lively 5 minutes or so right at the end of the game. It's Drury who's going to take it. Clark, Wabbo, Kedwell, Rance, all in there. Nice to see mutual respect between the two managers. Darren McMahon, I think, maybe perhaps conceding that the race is run for his team. But goodness me, they've given it a good go. And although it'll be the last thing on their minds right now, eventually it will be perhaps a platform for growth going into the new season when that resumes. Gets underway in early August. Whiteley. Taken off him by Ridehouse. Norwood. Into added time then we go. At the end of extra time. 3 minutes there'll be of it. Monte. There is going to be a shot at him at redemption for Tranmere Rovers after losing last season's promotion.
Well, they've done brilliantly this season to show character after losing that promotion final to Forest Green. Slow start to the season, then they got going, which possibly did cost them the championship. But they're certainly looking for redemption next Saturday. Certainly going to the game as favourites, whoever they get.
Sutton United or Boreham Wood, the Tranmere Rovers in that final at Wembley Stadium a week today. They'll have an extra day's rest. What little difference perhaps that will make in the team that they're going to be playing against. Tranmere, 2:30 our start time for that. It's on 1 and it will also be available in 4K UHD. Cole bouncing off the challenges, driving a shot, full of confidence after that goal that he scored.
Yeah, he's done really well today. Oh, Cole, him and Giannelli really complemented each other on the flanks. Much better to see Tranmere with pace out wide.
Mickey Mellon, his assistant, Mike Jackson, says he has a no excuses environment at the club. Mickey Mellon very often praises the facilities, both the training ground and the stadium, says how everything is set up for them to move forward. They just need to get over the line and get back in the Football League, and then it could, you never know, with a fan base to the size that they have, a very quick upward trajectory for Tranmere Rovers, but they just have to get there first.
That's the problem. I mean, Grimsby didn't it for a while. Paul Hurst side just could not get out of this division.
Grimsby did eventually manage it, didn't they, through the playoffs. That's seconds here at Prenton Park. The home supporters ready to celebrate. Sense of anticipation at Prenton Park. Tranmere are going to Wembley. Mickey Mellon's side through to the final. They'll meet Sutton or Boreham Wood today. They've done it the hard way there. Darryl McMahon's Ebbsfleet fall just short. Norwood get a brace on the day. No back-to-back promotions for the Fleet. They have much to be proud of. But it's Tranmere's day. It finishes here. Tranmere Rovers 4, Ebbsfleet United 2.